Okay, I've got the maximum recording time, so I had to make this a two-part series. Anyway, I was starting to talk about my little hand tool here, and I made one of those for Andy too. They work on the blue barrels, they work on the big white barrels, they work on just about any water barrel and bung cap that you can think of. Anyway, let's head over here to the shed. As you notice, I started putting some trim around the doors and windows and that kind of stuff. And I got a screen door on it because the flies love to get inside these things and drive you nuts for some reason. I think that's what they live for. Anyway, I got a thermometer out here, and this door knocker was a gift from a friend. Her name is Vicky. She gave me that a while back along with a welcome mat for out here, but I'm not going to put the welcome mat down until I put the porch in, and then the welcome mat will go here in front of the door. Yeah, but right now it's showing that it's about 86 degrees out here, and there's a slight wind blowing. We'll step inside here, and hey, look, we got some kitchen cabinets put together and in place. You remember those? I got one hung up there on the wall, and it's only temporary, but I put plywood in the wall where anything heavy is going to hang and fastened it to the insides of the studs. Now that's where the microwave will go. Then I took one of these cabinets, an upright, and I turned it on its side, and that's going to be where the microwave mounts. And this will be above the stove. My 30-inch stove will go right down in here. You can see I've got some wiring started, and this FortiFlash is a waterproof flashing. That's over the metal flashing that where the wood is split in two different pieces, and that'll keep me airtight in here. I also got down to the corners, drilled a small 3/8 hole, got some expando foam down inside of there, and foamed up all four corners. The reason I did that was, unlike 2x4 wood, these are hollow, and as you can see through the hole there, you can see right through there. There's where they come together at the bottom there. This cluster of 2x4s has a gap area which lets air in. So I like foaming those up and keeping that cold air out, especially since I'm probably going to be sleeping in here for the winter. Anyway, my refrigerator, that's the refrigerator outlet. I ran out of wire, but that's the refrigerator outlet, and that'll go there. And then this cabinet up here will lift up like a motorhome type cabinet, and I'll put a latch on there so that this holds open. Then I got my electricity box up here for where the microwave will plug into. And now I'm going to vent out the wall right there for the stove exhaust. So that's pretty cool. Now, one other thing, see I got my sink in here, and I got to get some guck remover to get the stickers off. They've been on there too long. And I got my faucet in, and I got my soap dispenser in. But this sink base here is not a sink base. I bought that because I wanted to keep down the size. That's 30-inch instead of 36-inch. But it came with a drawer right there in that opening, and that's the drawer face right there. I didn't need a drawer there because I'm putting the sink in, but so it wouldn't go to waste, what I did was I modified the cabinet and I moved the drawer down to the bottom. So now I have a pull-out to get to my stuff that I store under the sink. And what's going to happen up here on this door face is I will end up putting this on here, but they have what they call tilt outs, and this thing will tilt out like this. And then I got to get these little storage trays that mount on the inside of it, so I can keep the sponges and things like that, maybe a bottle opener or whatever. Just a handy little storage area, so utilize the space as best I can. As you can see, I've got a small kitchenette here, so I'm going to have to make use of the best space. Now back there I'll have my toaster, which would be close to my stove, so that when I'm making breakfast in the morning, my toaster is right there. I don't have to run back and forth across. And then over there I will plug in my coffee maker and grinder for my coffee beans. And then over here, this one will be for a blender and food processor. Sitting right in that corner. I can take those out whenever I want to. Now this will be a small canned goods pantry right up here, just on the top two shelves. I utilized one of the shelves that came out of that other cabinet because I didn't need it since it was laying on its side. And now I've got 3 shelf spaces in here. The bottom here where the electrical boxes are sitting for right now, that will be where I keep my plates and my coffee cups and things like that. And then up here I'll keep canned goods and stuff. Now I'm going to be putting a shelving unit across from the bottom base of that cabinet across to this one, and then another one all the way across the tops of them. The tops will be even, so that I'll have a shelf all the way up in there. And on tops of the cabinets I'll store stuff that I don't use very often, you know, paper towels, things like that. And then the bottom shelf there, I'll keep things like spices and so forth and so on that I need quick access to. And then I'll be doing something like that over top of the refrigerator also, so I'll have room there. See all my writing here on the walls. Bank A, batteries outside. I'm going to have an outside room out there. That'll be 4 foot by 6 foot, about the size of a regular bathroom. And that's where all of my electronics and stuff will be. I'm going to have a 12-volt J box out there because, as you see, that's marked here, 12-volt DC. All my lighting in here is going to be 12-volt low voltage. I'm not going to use any of my 120 voltage. There's my electrical panel. So I won't use any of my 120 voltage for lighting. That's going to be to run things like refrigeration and so forth and so on. And even this TV up here it's a small TV for right now, but this is 12 volt. And for the best part, that's really all I need. I don't need a gigantic TV. I don't like watching a lot of TV. I do like to catch up on the news. And there's a station out here that plays Huell Hauser videos that, you know, California Gold. I love watching that and seeing all the places he goes. Anyway, there's a temporary antennas just taped to the wall up there because this TV was working this weekend while Andy was staying in here. I stayed in the motorhome. You see I got my tools in here and some of my chairs and that stuff, a couple of solar panels. I'm going to be putting sheets of cardboard over these windows on the inside here so that if anybody happens in and they peek in the windows, they don't see anything. Out of sight, out of mind. Anyway, back over this way is my light switches. I've got an indoor and an outdoor switch there. And the box is going to be right there above the door. That's so that when I come in the night, in the dark, I can flip that switch on and have light in here so I don't trip over things. Over there is my tankless water heater. That'll be getting piped in next trip. And that will tie into the sink water, of course. And then I'm going to run a water line down below there. That green is a ground rod or a ground wire, goes out to the ground rod driven in the ground outside. Then right over in that little bay right there, you'll see a bag at the bottom. That's a Shark Bite water stop, 1/4 inch, and that's going to be for the ice maker. So my refrigerator can make ice for me and so forth and so on. And anyway, so you can see I put the plywood in the walls for hanging the heavy stuff. And then right there will be where my wall heater will go, between those two studs. And it's going to go piped out of the wall at the top. Now this next bay, right behind the door here, is going to end up being a doorway, a little 24-inch doorway like you would find in a small cabin or whatever. Just a little 24-inch door going into my bathroom. And if we step outside here, my trailer's here right now. I just hooked it up so I can haul it with me. But on this wall, this one that has no windows, 4 feet out, I'm going to build another cabin just like this one. That's going to end up becoming the bedroom, which